I want to talk about the advantages of smaller pocket knives, smaller folders. Um, and there are definitely advantages to a large folder or a large knife, a large fixed blade that a little pocket knife doesn't have. But there are some advantages that you definitely get from carrying a smaller knife. One is a social advantage in that if I pull this out to cut something and use as a tool, people don't look at me like, whoa, why are you carrying that, right? Because a larger knife will cause a little bit of shock amongst regular non-knife people. So a little knife like this is a lot more socially acceptable. Small knives are easier to conceal in your hand. I can have it open with my hand in my pocket, and nobody knows I have a knife at the ready. As soon as I'm ready to go, it's out, it's ready to be used. I don't even need to put it in my pocket. I can just have it in my hand, and especially if it's dark, nobody's gonna really notice that I have something unless they're really switched on about how people move, right? So if they know that, if my hand's really stiff, a person who's observant may see something, but most people will not. All right, so that is one huge advantage of a smaller knife. Larger knives, or knives that have really odd designs, things like that, attract a little too much attention, especially if you're dealing with law enforcement. If you get into a violent confrontation, and even if you don't use your weapon, if it's just empty hand and you deal with the threat and the police get involved, if you're carrying a huge folder, you will be scrutinized. If you're carrying a large fixed blade, you'll definitely be scrutinized. In an urban environment, a small knife is much better to carry around. If you're not out in the bush, a large fixed blade will really get some unwanted attention. There are tactical advantages that the large knife has that you don't have with a small knife. And personally, because I carry a knife primarily as a tool, not as a defensive implement, a small knife is really quite good for me. It's all that I need. Something like this, which has a little bit of size to it that can be capped, where I can still use it in a hammer fist as an impact weapon, is a pretty good tool to carry. The nice thing about these Kershaw knives is that there are exact duplicate training versions available, right? So if I want to train with my knife, I have pretty much the exact same here. So that may be a little off topic, but this is one of the reasons I love this Kershaw. So small knives, while don't give you the reach advantage that a large knife will give, they're very practical for urban dwellers. They're easily concealable in the hand, and they're very good tools to have on your person for day-to-day cutting chores. So I do love large knives, as many of you know who know me, but realistically, most of the time I carry a small folder. I love fixed blades as well, but a lot of times that gets unwanted attention, or can get unwanted attention. And for me, a small knife is much easier to carry, much easier to have on my person. A small knife is just much easier for me to carry for whatever daily activity I'm doing. I know it doesn't draw as fast as a fixed blade. I know it doesn't have the reach a large knife does, but the chances of me having to use it combatively are very, very slim. And the chances of me using it as a tool happens pretty much on a daily basis. So I don't want to have something that scares and offends people. Instead, I want something that people will not look twice at. And that's why I generally carry a small folding knife. Thank you.